AskReddit by Neapolitan B. What's a dead giveaway that someone has low intelligence? They have a hard time understanding how a concept in one context could apply to another context. Nice to see an example of an actual indicator of intelligence, or lack of it, rather than people just associating intelligence with positive traits. Often wrong but never in doubt. Now I believe you met my in-laws. They tell you about the time they scored 450 in an online IQ test. Over my years of the early internet, it was always easy to spot a pseudo-intellectual by how readily they dropped 200 or close to 200 as their score. Because they didn't know that's a ludicrous score to lie about. They think they're always right. Not curious, open to learning. An uncurious mind is always the biggest giveaway to me that someone lacks intelligence. Instead of having a good point in an argument, they call you names and insult you. Have a coworker like this. Take the time to listen to her complainter. Try to interject my point and she talks over me. She cries how I'm hurting her feelings. She's a simple-minded fuckwit. No critical thought. I knew a lady who got suspicious of the donkey charity adverts on TV because if they're helping new donkeys, why are they still showing the old ones? Edit, thank you for the upvotes. I am howling at the comments. You guys are brilliant. Bravo. It's actually spelled Donquixit. A lot of comments here describing mean, rude, asshole, low IQ PPL. Some low IQ PPL are extremely kind and have a tough time in society because they get used. Some people with cognitive disabilities deal with this too. Such kind, gentle people that spend their lives being walked all over. They don't just not take the time to listen to other opinions, they actively shoot them down. A lot of debates you see online are going to be people trying to yell over one another. Most of the time, people pick apart grammatical errors or things that they didn't phrase right and use it as the base of their whole argument. An intellectual debate shouldn't include yelling. Hear another person out before disagreeing with them. Poor spellcasting ability, below average investigation and arcana checks. Root. I cast the spell of uneven shoelaces upon thee. Pray that I do not summon the dark magic of uninterruptible YouTube commercials next. Telling you how smart they are. I like using big words. They make me sound more photosynthesis. If they use Reddit, except for me. Dang, I'd be awfully upset about this if I knew how to read. Lack of curiosity. I kind of agree with you, but then there are clever people who have just given up. A stupid person and a clever person with mental health issues may show the same lack of curiosity. Inability to process hypotheticals in the if scenario. That's really the main development people have gone through intellectually over the latest handful of generations. We can entertain, not just what is, but what might be or what could have been. It helps us think in abstract ways that allows us to, for example, categorize information, which is immensely useful in the types of tasks a modern society requires. It helps us with basic skills like arithmetic. If you have 5 apples and then remove to hammer. But I don't have 5 apples though, dart. One of the most important abilities it gives us is the ability to put ourselves in someone else's place. How would you feel if you were treated the way you treat others? I'm not, though, dart. You can see this in etymology. All of the older definitions for words only a few hundred years ago were visual, virtually never abstract. Zero curiosity about anything. No, I came up with it ever. This. And not asking questions ever. How will you learn and improve if you never ask questions? Not trying to figure something out before they ask for help, no desire to learn. Please do this for me instead of please show me how to do this. When he tells the NCR that he has a theoretical degree in physics. Surprise, Fallout New Vegas. They can't tell the difference between arguing and engaging in constructive discussion. Also, they get angry when you make them work their brain. There. No opinions. They simply absorb others' opinions and way of thinking without context and make it their own. If you ask them why, they'll reply with IDK. They talk about being an alpha male. Not willing to admit they're wrong. And I know it, because I'm always right. They see the world in black and white. There is no nuance. No understanding of the other side of anything. There is only right and wrong, and conveniently they are always on the side of right. The inability and willingness to try and understand someone else's point of view, and how their personal experiences contribute to that view. It doesn't mean you have to accept it, or agree with it, just try and understand it. That could also be explained as having a severe lack of empathy. Someone who has a level of psychopathy could be extremely intelligent, but mentally incapable of understanding someone's point of view if they have no similar experiences. Only use one source of news and believe it fully instead of looking across a number of different sources. Have to be right all the time. Edit. Guys, I wrote this at like 2:30 AM and I had a handful of people that I know personally in mind when I wrote it. I see your criticisms and your arguments and they're all valid, but just know I wasn't speaking on this in a broad, one-size-fits-all sense, but rather about people I know in my daily life. They also deny reality all the time. If you bring up a time they said something incorrectly, they'll just tell you that never happened. Bonus points if they scream and throw things while they deny. I feel like people who ride motorcycles without wearing at least a helmet have low intelligence. How else will people recognize them and say, wow, that guy is so cool for not wearing a helmet? They have strong opinions about topics they don't really even understand the basics of. They are uncurious about the world around them. When they never question the beliefs they grew up with. They keep talking without listening. They brag because they're in the first percentile for IQ tests.